Oh my god. I just got back from seeing Multiverse of Madness and I had to record immediately. Let's get started.
They're here.
Holy shit. I loved it. I love Multiverse of Madness. I came out of the theater feeling like it was an MCU movie tailored for me. I I debated about whether or not I was going to cover this because I heard it was going to have horror elements. I didn't really want to do too much out of the horror genre, but no, thank you, Sam Raimi. Holy crap, thank you so much. I'm going to do a spoiler free review now. This is just kind of my reaction. It's going to be a short video. I will do probably a deep dive later this weekend, but I just had to get my initial thoughts out of the way. Starting with Sam Raimi. Thank you. Holy crap. So, he brings to the MCU that classic Sam Raimi slapstick horror that he's known for in spades. It just felt right at home with the MCU. It didn't feel completely out of left field. It didn't feel like it didn't fit in the MCU as a whole. It paired perfectly with Doctor Strange, bringing out those horror elements from the comics that were kind of missing in that first Doctor Strange movie. And don't get me wrong, I like that first Doctor Strange movie, but it really complemented the story here, the story that was being told. And so, before I get to the story, just sticking with Sam Raimi in general, um, I don't know who the director of photography was, but I mean, Sam Raimi directed this film like an Evil Dead MCU movie. The way the camera moved, like it moved in the Evil Dead, the humor landed. The film isn't gory per se. Like, there's no like guts and blood. I mean, there's blood, but not like it's not like Evil Dead 2013, right? Where it's not gallons and gallons of blood, but it's used to highlight certain moments, like in the trailer. So this isn't really a spoiler, but when Elizabeth Olsen, kind of later in the movie, you kind of see this trailer where she has like the blood on her, and it's like like kind of splattered, on one side of her face, and it kind of goes down to her shoulders. Um, where her character is in that part of the film, it just accentuates and it really kind of adds to the menacing tone as well. Um, the brutality is certainly there. Like, even though, like I said, it's not like full on body horror gore stuff. I mean, there are some kills in this movie. Like, there are some kills that like my jaw just dropped. And I really appreciated. There were some like holy shit moments in this movie. And character wise, right? So I know with Marvel movies, it's all about the cameos now, right? Like, kind of now, I feel like post Endgame, it's like, with Spider Man, it's like, oh, who's gonna show up? In this, it's like, who's gonna show up? But I didn't feel like the cameos overshadowed the story at all. I thought, Sam Raimi put character first, and it's so present with Wanda's arc in this movie, and Elizabeth Olsen gives her best performance of the MCU, but I think not even just her own, like her best performance, but like the best performance of the MCU, hands down. And I mean no shade to any of the other actors in this franchise, but like she acts the hell out of this character. Wanda is just full on Scarlet Witch. It is incredible. The red tones, the red, the black, the just stunning visuals across the board as well. Um, Heart wrenching too. Like, obviously this movie takes place after WandaVision, so it really picks up from her arc from the end of the show and really dives into the grief and the pain that she felt and runs with it as she kind of finds solace in her magic and trying to use that to solve her problems. It's very reminiscent for my Buffy fans out there. I was getting major Dark Willow vibes from her arc in this movie. So, I mean, just like 10 stars, 10 stars to Elizabeth Olsen. I thought that, I mean, Stephen Strange. I think Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job as well. I think his arc wasn't as defined as Wanda's. It was there, and there certainly is a story to be told there with him and Christine and everything. But certainly, yeah. I enjoyed it as well. I also really liked America Chavez. I'm forgetting the actress's name in this, but I really liked her performance and how they used that character to structure the story and move the story forward. But yeah, I can't give enough praise to this film. So I just had to come out here and just rant a little bit. It's just my general reaction. Just so, like I said, I'm going to do a deeper dive later this weekend, but I had to get it all out there and just talk about how excited I am about this movie and how Sam Raimi brought horror to the MCU in a really fun way. So, if you're on the fence about this movie and you're a horror fan, please check it out. I'm not that this movie is at any risk of doing bad. I'm sure the box office will be just fine. But as a horror fan, the horror's there. It's, I think it starts off more like an MCU movie. And that, it's starting off very superhero-y. And it stays pretty superhero-y in general, but like the horror really ramps up like midway through the movie, and it goes and it goes, and it's pretty awesome. Especially for Sam Raimi fans, Evil Dead fans, go check out this movie. There's a little surprise. There's little surprises for you as well. So please check it out. I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for my deep dive later this weekend. All right. Till then.